2 weeks ago, I posted a video on why I was selling my Sony A1, and after 4 weeks of it being on the marketplace, it finally happened. It sold for $5 grand. I'm reinvesting that $5 grand back into gear, and I'm bringing you along for the ride. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I've basically spent about 10 hours doing a ton of research on gear, which gear to buy, and what were my best options, and why I decided to invest in this gear in particular. So I think one of the things that we fall prey to consistently is just purchasing a ton of camera gear, where in reality, if you just have one camera body and maybe 1 to 2 lenses, then you'll be fine. And frankly, the rest you should investing in audio, and second to that, lighting. Let's go ahead and walk through this shopping cart. So right now I have 2 main lights. I have a light that is basically lighting the entire room, and then I have another light that is supposed to be my key light, and I'm bouncing that off from the wall, and then it's hitting me, okay? Those are 2 Godox lights. The reason why I want to exchange them is because they're just daylight lights, and I do want to have bicolor. And so I did a ton of research, and what I landed on was the Nanlite Forza 60B bicolor. So this is gonna be a monolight. I was definitely looking at the Amarans. So Amarans came out with that new little light, and it looks really nice, and I did have it in my shopping cart for just a little bit, but I decided to not go for it because of how loud it was. I did want the bicolor, and so apparently the bicolor was a lot noisier than just the single color. So the Nanlite Forza lights seem really good, and the build quality as far as the lighting goes, and it just seemed like a solid option. On top of that, you're getting all of these little accessories here, so you're getting the carrying case and all that good stuff. So it just seemed like a great option. Now there's also this RGB one. Damn, this actually looks pretty nice. I didn't actually even know that they had this. Damn, I mean, it goes up by like $300. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I have other lights that are RGB, and I think I'd rather just stick to that. So I got the Nanlite 60B, and then that's gonna be mainly just for lighting the entire room, or I might switch that out. And then I got the Nanlite Forza 200. Now, oh gosh, this is actually a daylight. I don't want the daylight. I want the bicolor. Oh my gosh, I think I made a mistake here. Okay, it's not that much more expensive. Oh gosh, it seems like, oh man, I'm bummed out. I was so sure I had gotten the bicolor, but I guess the bicolor is currently out of stock. And if I want the bicolor, I can only get the 300 watt, and that just goes from a $450 price point all the way to, God, that's double, almost double. Okay, this is where Amazon comes in. And so I am also purchasing some stuff off of Amazon as well. So let's see if I can find it on Amazon. Not available with current selection. Well, what's the current selection? I guess they don't make a bicolor 200 watt. Okay, look, I still have some money as far as budget goes, so I might just get the 300 bicolor because I do want bicolor capabilities. So let me just go, let's check out Amazon real quick and see if it's here. It's the monolight, but it doesn't say anything. And so the reason why I got Nanlite is just because I felt like the apertures, I think it's more expensive than this, or it's around the same price range, but I really liked the fact that Nanlite has stronger lights, and then it has the smaller lights like the 60B that I showed you earlier. And if I can get lights that are all within the same brand so that I can use the same mobile app, because that's one of the things that I don't like about the Godox right now. I have to use the remote, and it gets a little janky to use sometimes. The remote, for some reason, only goes as low as 10%, and I can't drop it below that. I believe it's 10%. It might be 25%. I don't recall what it actually is. You can't put it down to 0, like, so that doesn't work. So that's a little annoying. Damn, guys, I think I'm gonna have to just get this other one. Wow. Okay, I'm a little disappointed, but just gotta roll with the punches sometimes. So let's add that to cart. And that brings us from, I had my cart at $3,500. Again, I have a $5,000 budget. It brings it all the way to $4,400, but let's get rid of the other one. That's the 60B, this is the daylight. Let's go ahead and remove this. And it brings the budget to, well, it's $400 more expensive. And trust me guys, like I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what was the best quality for the best price, and I had to make some really hard decisions. Okay, I'm fine spending $800 for a quality light. It's 300 watts, I guess, so that should be pretty powerful. And the reason why I like shopping on B&H too is because they have a 30-day return policy. So if I don't like something, I can return it. I'll get my money back 100%. So okay, so we got the Nanlite Forza 300 bicolor. I mean, that's cool. The stronger the light, the better. I'm fine paying for a quality light that I'm just gonna keep for a very long time anyway. We got the 60B as I mentioned. Then I did want to get a panel light, which is, this is gonna be the Amaran P60C. RGB WW. I watched a ton of videos. I mainly get all my recommendations from DSLR Shooter. I've been following this guy. I've bought his LUTs, I've bought his guides for cameras in the past, and all his content is great. And I love the fact that he just makes purchasing equipment or doing research on equipment just really easy, because he just does some really great reviews. And I actually think it's this one. This is the best video LED panel. And so anytime he makes like a good recommendation, I follow that. I'm getting this panel light essentially because I want to replace the light that is behind me, because right now I'm using a Nanitech or IntelliTech light, and it's pretty big and it's really bulky. It takes up a lot of space, and I want to mainly get rid of that. I just want to have like a lower profile. So I want to get this panel light to shine behind me, and that's why I chose that one. And then I also am getting the Aperture MC RGB lights, and I mainly want to use these for a hair light and for changing the color of my background. I also have the Boeing, I believe, the Boeing P1s, or I actually bought those off of his recommendation as well. And they're good lights. Like, the output on them is really nice. The only thing that really bothers me about those lights is because, one, they don't have a mobile app. So if I have to control them, I have to get up and switch them off. And even though I have them connected to power, they still die on me. I don't know if you noticed, but in my video last week, that's exactly what happened. I was in the middle of shooting, everything was fine, then all of a sudden the light turns off. And it's just really annoying, the fact that the battery dies on you even though you have it connected. And I don't really know if that's because I'm doing something wrong. Maybe the wire is faulty or something, but I'm using the wires that came with it, and I'm having that same issue with both of them. So I don't know. I'm just gonna switch those out. I'm gonna use the Amarans, and I'm a little worried that they might not have the output that I need, but we're gonna see. And again, if I don't like it, if it doesn't work, I just return them, which is awesome. Okay, those are mainly the lights that I'm gonna be using for the studio. Now, you cannot purchase tube lights. I mean, come on. The tube lights are just amazing. You have to have them in your arsenal. And so I finally decided to pull the trigger. Now, a few months ago, I did end up purchasing the Amaran lights, the new ones that had just come out. But it's been already like 3 months, and they've been on back order for the longest time. Here it is on back order. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel these. I was in between the Godox, and I did do a lot of research on some of the other ones. I just decided to go for the Nanlites just because the Godox price seemed really good. But one, I just felt that you could see the separation of the LED lights coming off the Godox, and I don't really like that. Now, I've seen some videos where you don't see that, and I've seen some other ones where you do. I don't know if that's just because when you put it at 100%, you can't tell, but when you lower the output, you can tell. So I don't know. Again, if I don't like these, I can return them, so I'm mainly just gonna try them out to see. Now, I was in between purchasing a 2 set of the 4-foot, and then also getting the smaller ones, the 1-foot ones. Where are they? These right here, the 6C, and I'm getting 2 of those, and that's a really good price. You're talking about $144, and I was gonna get the 2-pack for the 4-foot ones, and it was $1,000. And I'm like, oh, man, like, you know, having 2 4-foot lights just hanging around here in my space, this is too much. And frankly, I think I would also appreciate the 2-foot ones. I just decided to say, you know what, I'm just gonna get one of the 4-foot and one of the 2-foot, and I think that should be fine. And it went from $1,000 to about $700, maybe $800. I don't know, we'll see. I'm okay with paying a little bit extra, even though it's not the best deal, but that's fine. Again, if I don't like it, just return it. So that's what I love about that. So I think that pretty much covers the lighting situation. All right, so 3900. I love messing around with filters. I got a satin filter on this camera and I have a mist filter on this other one. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about the glimmer glass filters and they seem to use them a lot for weddings and they get that really nice glow. So I don't know, I'm gonna give it a try. Again, if I don't like it, I'll return it. I'm also getting some additional gear in regards to stands. So I'm just getting an extension grip for if I wanna do like overhead shots or kind of have an overhead lighting as well. And let's check Amazon because I am also getting some stuff off of Amazon as well. So let's check the cart there. Okay, so I'm getting a diffuser. So as you know, you gotta have diffusion in your shots. If you want more of that softer look, especially on skin tones, you have to have some kind of diffusion. And so I saw Caleb using this particular filter and it looked really great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and purchase that along with this stand right here so that it can hold the filter. So that's gonna be pretty good. And then I did also purchase this clamp. These clamps are awesome because you don't want the power adapter just to be on the floor or just kind of loose. So if you have this, you can just attach it to the stand that it's on and it's a really great setup. All right, so that's pretty much it. I guess also I'm purchasing this atmosphere can. I've never played around with this, but I'm really excited to see what kind of looks I can get with this. So that's in the cart as well. So I think that pretty much handles all the lighting scenarios and I'm really happy with that. Now, in addition to the lighting, I've always wanted to have one of my A7 cameras rigged up for videography. And so I've always loved what Caleb had in regards to the A7S III and the rig that he built. It's just, I like how compact it is. It looks really nice. And I've always wanted to invest in stuff like that. So I figured since I have the cash, why not, right? So you can pretty much watch this video to purchase all this stuff, but I pretty much ended up getting everything that he discussed. So it was just the Nando rail, the D-Tap dummy battery. These are all accessories for the handle. I'm really excited about this handle because it just looks really nice. And then all of the plates that you need so that this works. Now I do have a DJI RSC2 gimbal, but man, like if you definitely need to have that grip, that additional grip so you can get some nicer angles and it's just easier for you. So I'm also getting this extension arm. I'm definitely getting color checker. So these are great. So I've always wanted one of these just to ensure that I'm getting good colors and then my white balance is on point. So that's in there. A little pricey, $149 just for this little thing, but it is what it is. And I'm also getting these small rig drop-in hot lock quick release monitor mounts. And so I'm getting one that has a NATO clamp and then another one that's just for the cold shoe since I end up using both. And I watched Chris Howe's video on this and it looked really sweet. One of the things that I just hate fidgeting with is just monitors on the camera. Especially on the FX3. I just hate the ergonomics and dealing with that in general. And the small rig seemed really good. I also just hate the fact that when you put monitors on these things, a lot of the times they just don't really have great grip and they kind of fall over and all this stuff. So I'm hoping the small rig ones are actually better. And that's because I've used some from small rig, from Condor Blue, and I think I even have the one for Atmos, and I hate all of them. Okay, so all of this stuff is just additional stuff for the rig, right? So let me check, where's my battery? What? I'm missing the battery for this thing. So I did end up purchasing, okay, so the battery is missing. So let me go and, so let's go back in here. We're gonna check out the V-mount. No, yeah, there it is. I was pretty sure I already had this on my, oh man, it just went out of stock. No wonder. I was pretty sure I had this in my shopping cart and then now it's gone. It's just temporary out of stock. Gosh, I hate it when this happens. Yes, Amazon, thank you. All right, let's add this to the cart. So it brings it up a little bit more, $600, still within budget. I actually wanted to have a little bit extra so I can purchase an additional lens. I want to get the 20mm because right now this camera right here is shooting on the 24mm and I do want it to be a little bit wider. So maybe I can find it used on Facebook Marketplace or something and get a good deal on it. But now, let me talk to you a little bit about this matte box. I was this close to purchasing the Polar Pro matte box, but man, that thing is expensive and then you are forced to use their filters. And so, I don't know, I mean, if something's great quality, I don't mind investing on it. And it actually does seem like it's great quality, but again, it just seemed really expensive. And again, I'm doing this more as a hobby. I'm not like doing a ton of professional work. And it just seemed ridiculous for me to spend $500, $1,000 on a matte box. I also did check out the Tilda matte box. The reason I didn't like that was because, so I shoot a lot of wide angle, and I saw some reviews of people saying that if you're shooting at 20 mils, or I believe it was between 18 to 20 mils, you'll see a lot of vignetting on the image. And so I don't want to be dealing with that. So I checked out the small rig. It seems like a great option because you can also screw on filters on top. And I already have a ton of circular filters. And so I just figured that I could use the ones that I already have, which is great. But then it does have this extra item here where if you already have filters that are at 4 by 5.65, you can just put it on that and then just slip it in and that'll work for you. So I think this was pretty versatile, and it's only $70, $80. Come on. So I saved like 900 bucks by not purchasing the Polar Pro and just going with this. So I hope it's good. I saw some good reviews on it. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it. It's not that expensive, and it should be great. Yeah, guys, so that's what 5 grand will get you. I already have adapters for the lights and for diffusion, so I think I'm pretty much set when it comes to that, but that's pretty much it. So real quick, go ahead and comment below. If you had 5 grand, what would you spend that 5 grand on? So let me know. What do you think about the purchases that I made? Do you think they were good purchases? Were they wise? And I'd love to hear your thoughts. If there's something else that you think, man, like Luis, you shouldn't have bought that. I've tried that before. It doesn't work. It's not great. Let me know. I'd definitely be interested. All right, guys. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.